Hello, America. Me again here in Illinois. Welcome to my first and last coffee clutch. Coffee and cigarettes in the morning. Snowing outside, rainy. Sort of a indicative marker of where I'm going with this video. Well, we've had fun. As much fun as you can have in a dictatorial power vacuum that seems to point just one direction. 20,000 troops are now being trained on American soil. There's nothing about it in the news. RT today had a special on it. People are oblivious to its happenings, and I wish there was something I could do to change all this for you. I tried. I tried. I tried motivating the people. I tried raising money. I tried selling off my own personal assets to help create the money so that we could rip away this power vacuum from them. Because when the People's Bank holds more money than the debtor's bank, then we simply buy the debt and push them off our soil. Them being the Baron Rothschilds and his extended family, the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, taking away the citizenship of the Rockefellers, all those involved, the Bush family, the oil cartels, the corporatism that goes on. America, it's become. I get lots of great comments and lots of viewers. Even after all this time and the promise of gold, I still haven't made my thousand subscriber list. People don't always like my viewpoint. I'm not a staunch constitutionalist, but I do believe that the Constitution of America would save our country. But I don't see or feel any of that from average Americans. You see them in the street, and I've actually had people look at me and say, "Isn't that an antique document? I mean, doesn't that really not apply to today?" It totally applies today, more so now than ever. So to be able to say that is, I don't know. I guess you're just not informed, but I've been trying really hard to get you sped up to make you think that it's okay to think like this, and it is. It's what the founding fathers intended. Excuse me, coffee. But the average American doesn't want to know. I look across YouTube and I see all the most viewed, and I see some of the most idiotic, and I'll actually, most of the time I don't bother, but last night I spent some time looking at what YouTube looks at, and what I found was a pish posh grouping of perversion, weirdness, maybe some humor. And like I said, we need humor. If anything else, the ability to laugh in a sick society is, or at least have a sense of humor, not about it, but through it, helps us to cope with our everyday lives. Laughing at someone else's misery isn't always a good thing, but we as people, our responsibility, not just to ourselves, but to one another and to our society and to our nation and to our planet, all depends on some simple ideologies. Ideologies that I've tried to convey. Not everything that I say is gold, and not everything that I do is perfect. I miss words. I miss enunciations. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I know that, and I could probably stand to be a lot smarter. I don't know all the names of all the leaders of all the countries of all the lands of the planet. It's not relevant to the United States. It's not relevant to me. Some of the weirdest and some of the wildest. Yeah, I know their names because they pose their own specific threats. But it's been a roller coaster ride, and I'm not going to say I told you so or gloat, because when I said troops were coming back to the United States to police our streets, I wasn't kidding. They're here, and they're training. When I said the Council on Foreign Relations is about to change the way we do business, the way the world works. I wasn't kidding, and now it's happening. Those were over a year ago. The Bilderbergers, the Rothschilds, the Bushes, the Rockefellers, um, you name it, Project for a New American Century. Our terrorists, the American terrorists, took the turban off their head, slimmed it up a little, tied it around their neck. They wear suits, ties, and they terrorize you every single day, and you fall for the trap time after time after time. Some of us on here are trying to raise awareness, but the majority of people don't want to hear or see it. When I see some insignificant giggle or a kick in the nuts get 240,000 hits, and then I see other patriots, other civilized people trying to raise awareness get 300 hits and cap out at 300 hits. There's sort of a change of balance of power and initiative somewhere in the middle that's that's taken away our, I don't know, it's taken away our self-esteem, it's taken away our nation's integrity, because when all Americans see the same thing but only 1% of them are actually trying to affect change, that still leaves the other 99% that we have to turn to look at it, not to join, but just to take reasonable objection and look at it. So, as of today, my account's about ready to be closed, not on YouTube, but my internet connection. So I at least wanted to get this out there, and thank everybody who subscribed. Thank everybody who's watching. The power of the Constitution is ours. It's yours. It's mine. And I'm activating my role as a citizen and as a patriot to try to help change these things. Now, in the past, I've asked for exorbitant amounts of money only because I wanted to do things that could affect change in this country, that could help us to get airtime and maybe even buy our own news station. And all we need is one outlet, and the rest of it's satellite communications, and then we'll force the cable companies under this new directive to pick up our channel and go nationwide. And you and me and everyone else, I want to push. I can't say we're going to have a march on Washington, because a march on Washington, you'd have to have permits. So, wink, wink. What I'd like to say is, what if we all showed up to speak our minds at the free speech zone in Washington, D.C., and do this? We'll all be standing in line to speak our minds. And maybe we can get the crew from YouTube Live to actually show up and start recording some of these people who have something to say to the government. So it would be YouTube Lives addresses the government. And since you already have all your equipment, you can set up at the free speech zone, and we'll just start standing in line by the thousands so we can all speak our piece. We don't need a we don't need a permit if it's not a march. We're just all showing up to have something to say. And it's time that we say it, America. You know, government should never be used against its people, and the military should never be used on American soil. Posse comitatus aside, there's something really wrong in America right now. And the only thing that we can do is stand up and take charge and be ourselves. You can't say that you're a Christian while you condone killing. You can't say that you're religious if you condone hate and meaningful measures. I'm in contrast with that. So this is part one. I guess I'm wrapping up here real soon. This is part one, but we'll get to the worst news here in just a moment. So anyone who's watching, thanks, and I'll see you guys in a minute. See you.